Welcome to this explainer on working in cloud projects. Let's just jump right in because we're going to tackle a problem you probably face literally every single day. Here's the situation. Every time you start a new cloud chat, you start from zero, completely from scratch. Think about your normal workflow. You sit down, you type out exactly who you are, then what you're working on, you explain how you like your answers formatted, maybe you upload a file or two, and then finally, you ask your actual question. But then, the next day, rolls around, and it's the exact same thing. You re-explain yourself again. And look, it's totally fine the first time you do it. But after a month of this routine, you hit a breaking point where you're spending way more time just setting up context than actually doing your work. It's a massive drain on your productivity. So, to understand how to fix this, think of a regular chat as a completely clean table. Every morning, that table is totally empty. You sit down, set all your things up, finish your work, and leave. Tomorrow, empty again. But a project? A project is like a dedicated desk reserved for just one specific topic. On this dedicated desk, there's always a sticky note attached to the lamp. Those are your standing instructions. And right next to it, there's a small shelf of reference books. The beauty of this is that every time you come back to this desk, both the sticky note and the books are already there waiting for you. Claude reads them automatically before it answers a single thing. So you'd have one desk for your business, maybe one for a book you're writing, and another one just for taxes. The golden rule here is they don't mix. Setting this up takes, maybe 5 minutes? You just open Cloud at AI, click Projects over in the sidebar, and hit Create. A quick tip though, make sure you name it after the broad topic, not a specific task. So instead of write blog posts tomorrow, use something like wiki content or client work. Now, I do need to mention a catch here. Projects are a paid feature. You'll need to be on the Pro, Max, Team, or Enterprise plans to use them. Honestly, if you're still on the free plan and using Claude heavily, this feature alone is a really good reason to look into upgrading. Okay, so let's look at how this desk is actually organized. Every project has two main slots. The first slot is your project instructions. This is that sticky note we talked about. A short, focused paragraph telling Claude who you are, how you write, the specific tone you want, and any strict rules to follow. You really want to keep this to a page or less. Why? Well, if it grows past that, Claude actually starts skimming the instructions instead of reading them carefully. The second slot is your project knowledge. That's your shelf. This is where you upload PDFs, Word docs, transcripts, or voice files. Now, Claude doesn't actually memorize these files. Instead, it searches through them when you ask a question they cover. It's exactly like a library index that quickly looks up the right passage instead of trying to read every single page from cover to cover. But here is exactly where most people go wrong with this feature. They just upload everything, literally their entire Google Drive or some massive 500-page PDF that they haven't even read themselves. And then they wonder if my Claude's answers actually start getting worse. You see, a bigger shelf doesn't actually make Claude smarter. Past a certain point, it gets overwhelmed and starts pulling all the wrong pieces of information. So, absolutely crucial rule here. Keep your knowledge base to just 2 or 3 highly focused files. Seriously, that's it. Less is definitely more. Once your desk is all set up, there are 2 more game-changing features you really need to know about. The first one is connectors. Connectors essentially let Claude reach right into your other workspace tools. Things like Google Drive, Gmail, Calendar, GitHub, or Notion. You just turn them on in your settings under integrations. And once they're enabled, any of your projects can use them. This means absolutely no more copy-pasting endless emails into your chat box. You can just ask something like, hey, pull the last 3 messages from Jordan about the launch and give me a summary. And Claude just goes and gets it. One quick thing to note though, Make sure you skim the permissions page when you enable a connector, especially for Gmail and Drive. You can easily scope Claude's access down to just one specific folder or label, ensuring it only ever sees exactly what you want it to see. The other really cool thing is file creation. Let's say you ask Claude to build a spreadsheet for tracking your weekly expenses. Instead of just getting a clunky text table printed out in the chat window, you get an actual real deal .xlsx Excel file. It comes complete with working formulas and is totally ready for you to download. It's pretty amazing. So, looking at the big picture, creating a project is basically a setup tax. You pay it once. But the break-even point in time saved, that hits after just 3 or 4 sessions. After that, every single time you open a chat, it's 100% ready to go. To break it down, you should definitely use a project when you know you'll be returning to a specific topic for weeks, or when you have 2 or 3 essential reference files that Claude should always have in the back of his mind. It's also perfect for when you need a consistent tone and strict rules applied every single time you chat. On the flip side, do not use a project for a quick one-off question. If the context of what you're asking fits easily into a single message, just send the message normally. And please, whatever you do, don't build a massive everything project where you just dump 30 files into the knowledge base. Remember, Claude has to pull from that knowledge on every single message you send. Giving it too much to read just makes your answers so much slower and noticeably sloppier. It all comes back to that fundamental rule of organization. One topic per desk. So I want to challenge you, try it out today. Pick just one topic you come back to every single week. Spend 5 minutes setting up those sticky note instructions. Add just one single reference file. Then see if that second session doesn't feel entirely different. Once you stop spending half your day setting the table, what are you going to build with all that extra time?